John Ahsley Kilvert was born on 29th September 1833 at High Urkel, Shropshire. He was educated at High Urkel Grammar School, and his early career was in the wine trade. Kilvert enlisted in the 11th Hussars as part of the British Army in Nottingham. He attained the rank of corporal on 9th July 1854. Serving in the British Army during the Crimean War, Kilvert took part in the charge of the Light Brigade on October the 25th, 1854. He was hit by a musket ball which passed through his right leg and then into his horse. He suffered a minor sabre wound to the head. His horse carried him to safety, but had to be euthanised. Kilvert's return is depicted in the painting on the dust jacket of the book, Honour the Light Brigade. The next day he was promoted to sergeant. After some delay, during which he was left in a ditch and later found there half frozen, he was taken to Florence Nightingale's Scutari Hospital and then to Malta before returning to England in February 1855. He later recalled, "I was in the second line, and as we careered down the valley and shot and shell were flying about like hailstones, it was only the pace of the horses that carried us through it all. I don't think if it had been a body of infantry that a single man could have reached the bottom of the valley. As we advanced, there was a hot fire from the Russian batteries on either side, and we survived. Rode over prostrate bodies of those who preceded us. Horses were killed, others galloped about riderless, and before long order was abandoned, and it was a desperate attempt to cut our way back through as best as we could as the Russians closed in on us. The Russian gunners were cut down, and we started back to our own lines, but I do not know what would have happened had not one of the Russian flanking batteries been attacked and forced to retire. Of the 110 men forming my regiment, only 25 returned, and of the 14 comrades sharing my tent, only one was spared beside myself. As to my injuries, I was shot by a musket ball through my right leg and also received a slight cut on the head. My horse was shot under me, but although frightfully injured, bore me back to safety. All day long neither horse nor man tasted food or water. I lay in a ditch waiting to be removed on an ambulance and had practically given up hope of ever being attended to, as darkness was settling in and I was nearly frozen. However, by and by I heard an ambulance coming, and as the boys said, I hollered with all my might, and very thankful I was to be picked up and taken aboard the steamer. He subsequently worked as an army recruiter in Bath and ended his military career with the rank of Troop Sergeant Major, which he attained in 1857. He was awarded the British Crimean Medal with bars for Alma, Balaclava and Sebastopol, presented to him by Queen Victoria in a ceremony on Horses Guard Parade, 18th of May 1855. He also received the Turkish Crimean War Medal. After the war, Kilvert lived in Coventry, married there and had a son named George. On the death of his wife, he moved to Wednesbury and remarried. He operated a pawnbroker's from premises in Union Street, where he also lived. His second wife died in 1900, as did his son in 1902. He sold the pawnbroking business and moved to the house at 13 Pritchard Street, which he named Balaclava House after the battle. He was elected to town council in 1886, becoming an alderman, and later in 1905, a year before he stood down from public service, he was awarded mayor. As a widow, he selected his niece, Mrs. Harris, to act as his mayoress. He also served as a magistrate. Kilvert died in Wednesbury on the 17th of October 1920 and was buried in plot A1037 at Wood Green Cemetery on the 22nd of October. He was the last but two of the British charge of the Light Brigade participants to die. His grave does not mention his role in the charge. He bequeathed his medal and his sword used during the charge to the Wednesbury Museum. The medals were noted as missing in 1974 and then rediscovered in 2013. When their origin was identified, they were donated to the Wednesbury Museum. The sword Kilvert used at the charge of the Light Brigade is in possession of Sandwell College, where one of the floors on the central campus was named after him.